BOBBY. So I am the employment coordinator and I am the assistant reentry manager.
What year did you come to Men of Valor?
So I originally came to Men of Valor in 2016. Now,
Okay.
my story is a little unique. So I was incarcerated. I had several
In Tennessee?
Yeah, in Tennessee, and I had several charges going on, and they don't release on Sundays, and they told me to pack up. I was going home on a Sunday. I was like, no way, I'm serving a sentence. I've got court dates going on. They said, no, you're being released. And I was in a mental health program on the inside at the facility I was at. They released me. I called my lawyer, I called my PO, and I called the contact I had from Mental Valor. I said, they are releasing me, but I am desperate. I want to be a part of y'all's program. And so they come and interviewed me the next day, Anthony Charles, Tevin Peterson, and another guy that's no longer with them, Brad. And I'd gone to my mom's, which was I love my mom, but it was a very toxic, dysfunctional, I didn't need to be there. And so they met me the next day and they accepted me. And when I seen, I'd never been, so I was raised around, drug dealing. My grandfather was like old World War II type of guy. He was hard. He loved me, worked for TVA, Boilermaker.
Yep.
So that's the only kind of like love I ever saw was that. And so when I saw the love of Christ, like I didn't realize, I thought, man, this guy's funny or what? I'd never seen the guys want to hug me, and stuff. I'd never been around it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted what they had. And so I was doing everything I could. I'd changed my life. I'd give my life to the Lord. And I was with them for 8 months. And the TBI and the U.S. Marshals came and picked me up at work on an indictment, offered me 120 years. And so I sat in there for about 18 months, waiting. And finally, I was able to get a sentence to where. But I just kept discipling guys. Everything I learned, I look back now, God had brought me to Men of Valor to be discipled so I could go back in and disciple others. And so I'm discipling guys, leading them to the Lord in any way, whatever it takes to get these guys to get in the Word and to.
Did that cause you problems on the inside?
Well, at Whiteville, it didn't cause me trouble, but like a little vice lord guy.
Mm-hmm.
We were, so I would sit down with him, let him go through his stuff, and I would show him the Word. And so, he'd come over and give his life to the Lord. And just so happens, I thought, man, something's going to end up coming behind this. I'm in here witnessing to these guys, but I didn't care whoever would listen. And so they transferred me out to West Tennessee State Penitentiary. Didn't ask them to. It just happened. And so it was just a blessing. And that's why I ended up paroling out of. But yeah, I was just, and I look now that the Lord allowed me, that's the whole reason he let me out, was to go and be discipled, to learn how to,
man, that's awesome.
Disciple guy. And so I got back out in 2021.
Okay.
So
2016 when you first got out, and then you went back to prison in 2017.
Yeah.
And then you got out in 21.
Yeah.
And you've been here ever since.
Yeah. So I went through the program, and they offered me AC. He offered to bring me up here and give me a job. And so I finished the program, come up here, and started working for AC. And he's been a great mentor to me. And all these guys, Kurt and Tevin, they've been awesome.
So at what point did you realize that your life was actually changing for real?
So, I had, before I actually come out to Men of Valor, I'd sold drugs, been in the drug culture, done drugs my whole entire life, more than 25 years, and to when I've truly felt the Lord, when I truly gave my life to the Lord, he transformed my heart. He took that stuff off of me, like the desire to want to go out and do anything illegal. I was incarcerated, but I was part of the Men of Valor program on the inside. And once I got out and I saw that I didn't want to go back to any of that stuff. It's something I'd always fail safe. I would always go back to, well, I know even, working, I always worked and had a job, but I'd always side hustle, and but I know I went through everything for a reason. My life wouldn't be where it was. When I think of some of the things I used to do to people, I'm like, man, that guy was awful. And I invite anyone to come to take a tour, get to know us, and see what we're all about.
If somebody wants to volunteer or give back to Men of Valor, how can they?
So there's a menofvalor.com, I believe, or get on our website. We have a Facebook. They get on there, and there's plenty of ways to get involved in Nashville and here now in Chattanooga and Florida.
What is a policy inside the state of Tennessee, policy or law, that needs to change to help you guys be more effective?
Man, I know some really good guys that are on that 51-year life sentence. One of my best friends right now killed a guy in a bar fight.
mandatory minimums or?
Yeah, mandatory minimums. He killed a guy in a bar fight. He got fighting in a bar, and it's actually two of them. You know, they've been locked up since 1997, and they wouldn't go up for parole for 51 years.